The story begins when at the hospital. It appears that there is someone who is being treated there. She who appears to be raising one of her hands upward, thinking that she doesn't want to die. The person who is being treated there turns out to be a girl. The girl hears the sound of something. She can feel the angel of death sharpening his scythe behind her. The girl has been sickly since she was born. Her doctor stated that she wouldn't be able to survive until her 3rd birthday. When she was 5 years old, she was told that she wouldn't be able to survive until her 7th birthday. When she was 8 years old, she was told that she would never be able to go to school. Now she is 16 years old. They say her parents will never be able to see her get married. The girl has cheated death again and again, but in the end, modern medicine couldn't do much. It appears that outside the hospital, there are some small children who are playing after coming home from school. The girl who sees it sheds tears. She hopes she could walk outside with both her legs, at least once. She wants to go to school, have fun with her friends, make her parents happy. And one thing she hopes for. If she is reborn, hopefully she will have a healthy body. The girl then hears a mysterious voice, "If so, I will grant your wish." She then becomes surprised after seeing the figure in front of her. The figure looks like a giant old man. The girl then looks around at what is around her. She wonders if this is heaven, which is answered by the mysterious figure that it is exactly right. And saying frankly, he is surprised that the girl is not shocked by something like this. The girl says that she doesn't have a chance like that. Her heart would stop beating as soon as she gets shocked. The girl says that she experienced difficult times until she underwent training to control her heartbeat. The mysterious figure wonders if that problem could be solved with training. The girl suspects if this is heaven, then the mysterious figure in front of her is God, right? Which is answered by the mysterious figure that it's correct. He is God. He watches over various worlds, including the girl's world. God calls the girl here today because he has a suggestion for her. Before her soul disappears, he asks if she wants to be reborn in another world. God says that it is a world of swords, wizards, and monsters. The girl immediately agrees to it. The technology level in that world is equivalent to the medieval era, but the girl will find many people who are strong and brave. God then becomes surprised when he hears that the girl immediately agrees and sees that she feels very confident. God asks if she isn't being too hasty because he hasn't finished explaining it. The girl says that God has already told her what she wants to hear. God said he would grant her wish and give her a healthy body. God says that he can guarantee it. The girl will be reborn in another world as a healthy child. Also famous, the girl tries to stand with all her strength and says that it's good enough. God asks if she is sure, which is answered by the girl while coughing. "Yes, I'm sure." The girl says that she gets a ticket to a new life. She will guide her own destiny. She doesn't really like predictions and prophecies. People have been predicting her life expectancy since she was born, and she is sick of it. The girl states loudly that being healthy is enough for her. God who hears those words, he says that this is quite impressive compared to the others, which makes the girl confused hearing those words. God then understands, and now he will start her reincarnation ritual. God then performs such a ritual on the girl. This makes the girl surprised when she sees what will happen. God says that now the girl will be reborn, but all her memories will be sealed until she is 6 years old. This is all for developing the growth of her mind and body. And the person the girl will be reincarnated as is Elizabeth the villain. Hearing the word villain, the girl thinks that it sounds very strong, and God says that the girl can look forward to her new life, and hopefully it goes smoothly. A young girl with a strong soul descends from the sky to one of the houses. It appears there is a small girl who is sleeping there. That consciousness will enter the small girl, and the small girl then wakes up. She feels happy because her wish is granted, and she reincarnates with a healthy and strong body. The girl then pushes away her blanket. Knowing that her body is very light, her body moves according to her will. She moves so suddenly, but her heart doesn't beat fast, and she also doesn't run out of breath. The girl then jumps from her bed and lands with both her feet on the floor. The girl who is surprised when she sees that she can hear perfectly. She who feels so happy that she can't even speak about her body. Thinking that this is the first time she has jumped from her bed at the age of 6. This makes her cry happily, knowing that this is what it feels like to be healthy. She then thanks God. It appears that the sky is so bright, and somewhere before the girl reincarnated as Elizabeth, it appears there is a creature walking there. The creature turns out to look like a cat but has wings. The cat asks God. God knows that it is her. The cat is Luna, the divine messenger, and Luna asks, how is the reincarnation of the girl he guided? God asks about the girl, and Luna asks back if God is worried. Luna says, if God feels guilty making a truly innocent girl bear a cruel fate. Moreover, her role is as a villain. She is not a small villain who only oppresses the heroine. She is the final boss who is very strong, who will awaken her power as the Demon King and destroy the world. She has high-level dark magic, darker than the darkness of night itself. The future Demon King, born as a human child, that is her. Luna asks, isn't it good that they managed to find someone stupid enough to possess that body? Luna, who laughs, says that the girl didn't even ask at all. She is so cute. God then asks, why don't they check and see what the girl is doing now? Luna thinks that the girl is probably screaming and suffering now. Her dark magic calls poison, also ghosts and angels of death. They will curse and torture her. They will try to end her life. The girl will give up on life and gradually become the Demon King. You could say, quite tragic. Poor girl. And Luna is curious how much their tragic villain is suffering. When Luna sees the girl looks so very happy about something and doesn't match the expectations Luna thought. Luna, who becomes silent, not saying anything while watching the girl doing an exercise on her body. It appears that Elizabeth is exercising there by stretching both her hands upward while taking a breath. She then releases it so calmly, and she then becomes surprised. Elizabeth so happily feels that the air is very fresh. Luna, who sees that, becomes confused. She wonders what has happened and thinks that this shouldn't be like this. The villain, Elizabeth Maxwell, should be surrounded by poison. Her dark magic should summon evil creatures. So why can the space around her be so clean? There isn't even a bit of poison. Luna wonders if she chose the wrong channel. God says no. The channel is correct, and try to look at her status screen. Luna then remembers about the status screen. Elizabeth Maxwell, age 6 years old, job as a villain, and her level is 13. Luna, who is surprised to know that her name is indeed correct, and says it's time for magic sensing. The magic attribute that Elizabeth has is dark with a darkness rating of 99.9%. According to the magic sensor, her attribute is dark. Then her darkness rating is 99.9% darker than the darkness of night. And someone wouldn't be able to find power like this in the average human. And also the job as a villain with level 13. Luna, who hasn't realized it until now, but what the heck is that level? This must be wrong. How can she be level 13? She is as strong as a beginner warrior. Elizabeth is still 6 years old. How can it be? What enemy did she defeat? Then when? It appears that there is an angel of death appearing there. The angel of death, who has level 27, appears behind Elizabeth. This makes Luna become surprised when she sees an angel of death level 27 appearing there. Luna, who suspects that this is bad, because it is attracted to her darkness. However, Elizabeth hits the angel of death so easily, and instantly the angel of death is destroyed into pieces, which ends with Elizabeth defeating the angel of death. It appears that Elizabeth's level has increased by 1 to level 14. And the angel of death appears again in such large numbers that they surround Elizabeth. Elizabeth then brings out dark power in her hands, and she prepares to attack. After her dark attack is launched, all those angels of death end up losing to Elizabeth so easily. And Elizabeth, who appears to be singing there, she experiences an increase of 5 levels and becomes level 19. The angels of death, who appear again, immediately run away, leaving Elizabeth. Luna, who sees that incident, becomes silent, unable to say anything. God says that she unites with her power and makes it a weapon, and what's more impressive is that she doesn't even realize it. She can't even see those angels of death. Even so, in her previous life, she could feel their presence. Luna, who hears that, is surprised that Elizabeth doesn't realize the existence of those angels of death. Elizabeth indeed doesn't realize that she is using her magic, or the fact that she managed to drive away the angels of death. God asks Luna, why are you so surprised? In her previous life, she has been fighting angels of death since she was born. Basically, In this matter, she is a veteran. Whether awake, asleep, or unconscious, she is always fighting. Even though currently she doesn't have magic power and leveling system, her sickly body is also the worst disability she might experience. She has lived in the most difficult difficulty level in her previous life, so basically this is easy mode for her. Fate, destiny, bad ending, it means nothing to her. Now she has a healthy body from the villain. That is nothing more than just a small inconvenience. Elizabeth says that she could only watch radio sports in her previous life. Her body feels much more agile now, after she actually does it. Elizabeth so happily says that this feels so wonderful to have a healthy body. It appears that several angels of death there end up very miserably, to the point that the angels of death are destroyed into pieces. Elizabeth, who appears to be doing radio exercises there, and she states that she has finished doing radio exercises. In her previous life, she always thought about what she would do if she was healthy. First, jumping from the bed. Second, doing radio exercises. Elizabeth then spins and thinks that it hasn't even been an hour since she woke up, but 2 of her wishes have been achieved. She says thank you to God and thank you to her healthy body. She then runs toward a door there. She states that the next wish, she will go outside. Elizabeth tries to open the door, but she has difficulty because the door doesn't open and realizes that the door is locked. She plans to go out through the window, but the window is blocked by iron bars. Elizabeth then remembers that she once heard from her grandmother. In the past, naughty children would be tied to a pole with old stockings. Suspecting that they even use iron bars on her, it seems villains are at a different level compared to naughty children. But Elizabeth doesn't give up. She then stands and states that being confined is not in her dictionary. With full confidence, she will challenge this destiny of hers, and she tries to find a way to get out of her room. In a hallway of the house where Elizabeth is, it appears there is a wheel being pushed by someone. The person turns out to be a girl who looks gloomy there. She is a maid in training named Chloe, 9 years old. Chloe, who thinks that today is also another gloomy day in her gloomy life. The reason is because of the daughter of Marquis Maxwell, her master. Miss Elizabeth, today she is 6 years old. She is the same age as her little sister. Miss Elizabeth is always alone in her dark room. Even during the day, she rarely moves, and she doesn't even speak. Chloe has never seen her smile even once. Chloe then knocks on Elizabeth's room door. She never answers. Even when Chloe knocks on the door, a child like that should be more enthusiastic. Chloe then enters Elizabeth's room. When Chloe wants to say good morning to Miss Elizabeth, and it appears that Elizabeth is climbing her room window. Elizabeth feels difficulty because she can't reach the latch. She then realizes that someone appears behind her. Chloe, who sees Miss Elizabeth's behavior, becomes surprised and screams. Elizabeth, who has been caught red-handed there, becomes silent. Chloe says that Miss Elizabeth is too enthusiastic, and Elizabeth says that she got caught. Chloe tells Miss Elizabeth to come down, and when Elizabeth is about to come down, she who loses her footing falls. This makes Chloe panic. Chloe, who is surprised to see Miss Elizabeth about to fall there. However, dark power then appears and envelops Elizabeth's entire body. Elizabeth, who realizes this, becomes surprised. Chloe, who sees it, can only stay silent and feel panicked. Elizabeth then turns her body around and lands using both her feet, which ends with Elizabeth successfully surviving from the falling incident. Chloe, who feels relieved that Miss Elizabeth is safe, and Elizabeth wonders what that was earlier. She then remembers one thing. Elizabeth, who is surprised to see a small maid girl who fainted there. She then tries to wake up the small maid girl and asks, "Are you okay?" Chloe, who is unconscious there. She remembers that Miss Elizabeth's black eyes and hair are said to be a bad omen. Anyway, the hair and eyes of the legendary Demon King also have the same color. That must be the reason why she is isolated from the other Maxwell family members, who all have blonde hair and blue eyes. Elizabeth doesn't smile at all. Just looking at her makes Chloe depressed. She knows that Elizabeth is not her little sister, but she pleads to God if God could grant her request. Chloe wants to see Miss Elizabeth more cheerful and show her genuine smile someday. Chloe then becomes aware and hears someone laughing. Elizabeth, who already knows that this must be magic. She then uses her magic power to take something there, and she then pulls it using her magic. Elizabeth is quite sure of what God has said, that this is a world of swords and magic. The best she can do is make it float for a moment or move light objects from a distance. But still, Chloe, who sees Miss Elizabeth doing that, becomes surprised again. The spoon that Elizabeth has levitated with her magic power aims to open the window latch. After successfully opening the window, Elizabeth then jumps to the window and says that this is the wish she wants to do. She will be healthy, jump from the window, then land with both her bare feet. Elizabeth with full confidence that she can definitely fly. Chloe, who is surprised to hear the word fly said by Miss Elizabeth. And it appears that Elizabeth has jumped from the window so happily. Chloe, who still feels panic there, thinks that she can hear her cheerful laughter, loud and clear. Chloe then screams, calling Miss Elizabeth very loudly, and when she starts to lose consciousness once again, she complains to God that this is not what she asked for.